Have you ever wanted to start streaming? Most likely, if you're watching this video, that means you do, or you've already started. But let's say you're brand new to the whole concept. You don't have that much knowledge on the streaming space. Trust me, I've been there. It's confusing. Even more so now, because beforehand, you really only had one major dominant streaming platform. Only one place to go. That platform being Twitch. For years, Twitch completely dominated the streaming industry, having absolutely zero competition. Because to be completely honest, Twitch would be hard to beat. Twitch had everyone, all the viewers, and they weren't making some of the brain-dead decisions that they're making now. But now they do have a lot of competition, a lot more than previously. And if you're newer to the idea of streaming, it can be completely overwhelming to choose a platform to start your journey on. So in this video, I'll be sharing the pros and cons of each of the 3 major viable streaming platforms to help you guys make an informed decision on what platform is best for you guys to start your streaming journey on. Twitch, the place where it all started. And that brings me to my first major pro of Twitch. It is the place where the whole streaming thing started. Most of the streaming culture originates from communities on Twitch and becoming widespread because of that. The Omegalos, the PogChamps, the 07s, it all started somewhere because some streamer introduced something unique to his community, and it spread like wildfire. And that is one of the biggest pros of Twitch and one of the strongest arguments for it. That being that it has the strongest and most diverse community out of all the streaming platforms. That and the fact that Twitch is still the dominant streaming platform by far. I mean, still to this day, they have 90% of the total market share and are the most dominant force of streaming, and that's just an indisputable fact. Despite all that, that doesn't mean that Twitch doesn't have its fair share of issues. For newer streamers, starting out on the platform is hard. Discoverability on the platform is incredibly oversaturated now more than ever. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that it is significantly harder for your Twitch channel to be found by some random viewer on Twitch than it is for that same random viewer to find one of the bigger streamers like XQC or all the big dogs. Nowadays, and I don't mean this to discourage anyone, it's almost impossible. It's really hard to start growing a community organically on Twitch. Smaller channels just don't get recommended nearly enough. And when they do, your channel is oftentimes with a pre-roll ad. A pre-roll is basically a 30-second unskippable ad the first time someone clicks on your Twitch channel. It's really annoying, and if you're unlucky, sometimes a random viewer who'll see your Twitch channel will click on it, see the ad, and just leave. That's just the nature of how it is. Pre-rolls are really boring, and there's not really a good way to get rid of them. And believe me, as a smaller streamer myself, I find it super annoying. The second major con of Twitch is that it only offers a 50-50 revenue split to its affiliates and partners, meaning that for a $5 sub, which is the minimum amount required to support your favorite streamer through a sub, Twitch automatically takes half of it. So yeah, it's a little annoying that a multi-billion-dollar industry is taking half of what you own, despite you still have to pay taxes, and it's money that's sent directly to benefit you. And that's basically all my main cons for Twitch.
I'm in a drive-through a Burger King. Can I please get a Whopper Jr. with onion rings?
So if you really want to keep a majority of what you own, that's where the next major streaming platform comes in, that being Kick.com. I'm not going to go super in depth about the history of Kick.com. All you need to know, it was co-founded by another major Twitch streamer, Trendrex TV. Notorious gambler, entertaining personality, notorious gambler, good at video games, and did I mention a notorious gambler? One of the things that he did advocate on for his new platform was the introduction of historically high revenue splits. That being a 90-10% split for everyone, not just partners, not just affiliates, for everyone. So if someone spends $5 on Twitch, which again, it's the minimum amount for a sub, instead of only keeping $2.50 like you would on Twitch, you would keep a whole $4.50. You might be wondering, what's the big deal? $2 doesn't really matter all that much to me. But think about it like this. Let's say you get 100 subs. That's $500 of untampered with revenue. On Twitch, you would only keep about $2.50, even less. On Kick.com, you would keep about $450, which is a whole $200 plus some difference, which that's a lot of money. And if you scale that up more and more, that's all money coming straight back into your pocket. So if you think you can build a community on Kick, that means that the subs you would get would mean a lot more and do a lot more for your bank account. I mean, another major pro and another argument for Kick is that they are trying to revolutionize the streaming industry. Unlike Twitch, Kick makes sure that they are actively engaged with the community and making sure that they follow the will of their streamers and their people and their viewers, making sure they're making everyone happy. A 90-10 sub split is absolutely revolutionary, but that's not to say that Kick doesn't have its fair share of flaws. Kick is by far the smallest streaming space out of the 3 platforms, but it's also the newest. Kick's most popular category, slots, averages about 50K viewers at any given time. To put that into perspective, Twitch's biggest category, just chatting, averages from around 450k viewers to about 2 million at any given time. Just to put into perspective just the size of the two platforms. The majority of the viewers are still on Twitch, as well as most of the major streamers, besides Aiden Ross, which we'll get into him in a second. Another con of Kick is that they're backed by gambling industry supergiant Stake. Now, if you don't know what Stake is, it's basically just a big gambling company targeted to online gambling, and they make a ton of money. The majority of streamers on Kick are gambling streamers, meaning that gaming on Kick is almost like a subgenre compared to Twitch, where gaming is like the main thing. And speaking of controversial, Aiden Ross has become one of the main faces of the Kick platform, which I don't know if you guys have been following Twitter all that closely, but let's just say that Aiden's been under some hot water for meat riding a 40-year-old man and sniffing his chair. Of course, I'm talking about the Tate brothers. He went as far to start copying his exact mannerisms. He even shaved his head so he can look like him. On top of that, expanding on some of Andrew Tate's more problematic takes. Aiden Ross prides himself in attacking cancel culture, but he really uses that as like an excuse to be homophobic. So yeah, he's really problematic.
Come get dressed, eat my cereal. Good morning, Redbird.
Which brings us into the next major streaming platform, almost the best of both worlds, being YouTube. YouTube is the second largest streaming platform, having a decent sized streaming community. They have a whole bunch of giants like Ludwig, Valkyrie, Dr. Disrespect, Tim the Tatman, Dr. Lupo, and that's just to name a few, not even including like iShowSpeed. They got the giants. And on top of having a decently sized streaming community, YouTube also offers a way better revenue split than Twitch, having a 70-30% revenue share, which basically means that Twitch is ages behind the competition as far as revenue sharing goes, which is kind of ironic considering it's backed by one of the biggest companies in the world. Streaming on YouTube is also tied in very nicely with your YouTube channel as well, meaning that's incredibly easy to post a recording of your VOD, of previous streams, or clips or something to your YouTube channel for people to find and discover. And it's backed by an incredibly well-established company, Google, which compared to like Kick, where you don't gotta worry about Stake just cutting your funding completely and being left high and dry. That's not gonna happen. YouTube is well established. And from what I've seen, YouTube is pretty committed to being actively engaged within the community. Which, for example, like when one of the biggest streamers on YouTube met the CEO, which is really great stuff considering that most people don't even know who the CEO of Twitch is. However, the one main argument you can still make against streaming on YouTube is that YouTube is YouTube. What do I mean by that? Well, when most people think of YouTube, they think of longer form video content. They don't quite think of streaming. And quite honestly, that's how their priorities work on YouTube. YouTube's primary content is long form. That means that streaming and shorts are just kind of thrown into the mix. And I guess that's got something to do with the fact that YouTube is incredibly new to the streaming space. YouTube is not closely enough established as a strictly streaming platform like Twitch or Kick is. But their discovery is a tiny bit better than Twitch's is because of like incorporations with your channel. That's my real only criticism of YouTube, and I'm sure as like time passes, those criticisms will start to fade. That's all I really got for cons right now. So what do I suggest? Well, do what works better for you. Right now, there are two extremely safe platforms for you to stream on: Twitch and YouTube. So give both of those a shot and see what works best for you. It's also important to remember that no matter what platform you choose, growing your channel organically takes a lot of time, and it's practically impossible. So make sure you work hard at exposing yourself, getting your name out there so more people can find your channel. Just be consistent, and no matter what platform you choose between Twitch, YouTube, or Kick, I'm sure you guys will do great. If this video helped you in any way possible, please consider subscribing. It's absolutely free and it means the world to me. So if you don't feel like dropping a sub, just please consider liking. You know, it makes a world of difference for me. I'm making these videos almost every single day, so I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot more of me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Keep in mind, I stream on Twitch every single day, so make sure to follow me over there at Jackson TV, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.